Good morning, everybody. It's gonna be just me, Abby, for a little bit while Ricey's computer is um, booting up. She had to be a bit of an adult this morning, and I'm sure she will uh, give us some information about that when she gets on. Um, we're gonna be talking about Loki today. Episode 5 came out for the Loki season this past Wednesday. And it's brought up some more interesting controversies, very similar to what some people would continue to complain about from episode 2. We are going to be extremely spoiler heavy today, so if you cannot join us live, that is perfectly understandable until you can go watch the show. We understand. I highlight all of the full podcast, so y'all are welcome to go back and watch the VODs, the highlight VODs, at your leisure. And as always, you're welcome to give us your opinions on our Twitter at What's Your Opin, OPIN 10. I should just go ahead and add that. Okay, Ricey's calling me now. What up,
Oh,
Ricey? I'm streaming, so it doesn't ring. You're
I know.
live. We're live. I did it.
Thank God. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm sorry I sound terrible. I am currently on my phone.
Mm,
Because for some reason, Discord didn't want to pop up after 10 minutes on my computer. So
I
there's
get
that.
that constantly.
Yeah. Ooh, buddy. Anyway, how's everyone this morning?
Ah. Oh, Pinton. I was just giving them the rundown that we were going to be very spoiler heavy today.
I
Uh,
love that you put it in bright red letters.
I like it's one of those things. Is like they gotta know. They gotta know. I'm gonna let them know. Um, for those watching in retrospect, and for those who are lurking right now, that's our Twitter. That y'all are
Oh, hold
welcome.
up.
Hey,
I will be right back. I'm gonna head out and then I'll call using my computer because it popped up. Well,
hey.
I'll be right back. One second.
Ah, and she go. There she go. She gone. She leaves me. She constantly leaves me. But yeah, no. Yes, you're welcome to follow us on Twitter and let us know what your opinions are about anything we've talked about or anything that you would like for us to talk about. Um, even from the highlights and the VODs. So, Ricey's back.
About that, guys. I have been doing adult stuff,
Adulting.
which honestly shocked me. Can we rant about that?
Absolutely. I gave them a warning that it's just like, oh, you're definitely gonna. I can
Oh,
take the
buddy.
spoilers off real quick, so we can do that. Ha ha ha. Because I'm fancy like that.
Nice.
Um,
Uh, so my morning was insane from oh my God. So me and my husband, my darling husband, whom I love so much,
mm,
have been looking to sell our house and whatever and all of that stuff. And we've been looking at houses and we've been cleaning our house and actually putting stuff in storage and like really, really working, right?
mhm.
This month, can I curse? Yeah, I'm gonna curse.
Girl,
This
we've already
motherfucker.
set this as like mature. I've been cussing for
Right.
39 episodes. You good.
All
Call them
right, so
out.
this motherfucker again, who I love so much, wakes me up at 9 or comes in at 9:30, and he's like, "Hey, I need your help cleaning some stuff up and kind of making everything look nice." And I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, I have my podcast soon, is everything okay?" And he goes, "Did I tell you that the realtor is coming in?"
Mm.
And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, I literally just like, "What?" He's like, "I think I forgot to tell you." And I was like, "You
Mm.
think?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? What time is she supposed to come in or like to come here?" "Oh, uh, at 10 o'clock." Literally look at my phone. It is 20 minutes before she comes in. And I am like, are you fucking kidding me? Our house
Oh,
is a disaster. It is a disaster. We have cups and mugs and plates and stuff all in our kitchen island, all of that laid out, and it, we are was it boxes full of stuff already that we packed
everywhere.
is everywhere. Yeah, and I'm just like, I am going to murder you. But your husband is there, thank goodness, and he's been keeping me sane.
You mean your husband's boyfriend? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And he's been keeping me sane, which I'm very grateful for. So
Because obviously he tells my husband, but doesn't tell you, the wife.
I know. Am I the mistress all along? But yeah, no. But yeah, thankfully when she came, it was nice and everything went smoothly. So there was that. Uh, and then I was like, oh shit, I have to do my podcast. And I'm looking at Jack, and I'm looking at Colton. And I was like, and Colton's like, yeah, I know. I mean, is there? And I was like, oh god, oh god.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I'm here. I'm here. I'm finally here to talk about shit that makes me happy. Cause bruh, as soon as this is over, I gotta go back to running around with my head cut off.
Also, if we should go ahead and do the shameless plugs now. For those who have seen it, live or in retrospect, you should follow. You should check out Tumblr. I'm at Mikiri on Tumblr.
Oh
Buddy,
no.
do we got shit posting going on there?
Honestly, being on Tumblr reminds me of my youth. Of all those days I used to like post shit all the time on Tumblr.
Yep.
Um, especially with the ships. Cause bruh, I am
Oh my
in this
god.
deep. I am in this so
It's
deep.
bad.
Right. So I guess to start off our whole Loki show, let me ask you,
Yep.
was it everything you thought it would be? Or was it better? Worse?
I like
'Cause-
I know that Tom Hiddleston's like an executive producer
Mm,
for this show.
yeah.
And there are some really, really like awkward acting moments that are just, I don't know how to put it. Like, so at the end of episode 4, we're introduced to a child Loki, an elderly Loki, a black Loki,
Mm,
and a crocodile Loki. Like, it's a post credit scene, and we're introduced to these people, and we've kind of followed them in episode 5.
mhm.
Well, Kid Loki is running around with this device trying to track down this creature called Elias where they currently are, which is at the end of time, or called the
Mhm.
Void. They don't explain what this device is. They don't explain how they're finding Elias. They're not explaining, like, really anything. And I'm just like, oh, okay. We're just gonna, like, glance over that.
Right.
So it's like
It's
they're
just a monster that eats
very
everything at the end of time.
right. There's very like
Yeah.
awkward, and it like I get that they're trying to make Sylvie, Loki, and Mobius kind of their dynamic very awkward, but there's just other moments that are really awkward as
Mhm.
well. That just I don't, and that's kind of been a thing throughout the entire series too. There'll be really, really
Mhm.
good, very powerful moments, very sweet moments, very just impactful moments, and then we get really super awkward moments. Like,
Yeah.
we get a moment with B-15, Hunter B-15, and Judge Ravonna Renslayer. Two powerhouse women of color having a scene together, like, playing off each other very, very well. But then B-15 has this line that's just like, ooh, that's cringy. That is a very, very tropey, cringy line. And it is, uh, you want this. She, referring to Sylvie, she needs this. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
that cool, but like,
Hold up.
not
See, my thing
really.
is okay, first of all, you're literally talking about the most recent episode. We need to rewind back a little bit
I know, but like, okay.
to
I
to the
got
first.
opinions. I got opinions.
I know you do, and we will get to them. But first, can we talk about the buildup? because okay, so when I first started watching the show, I binged the first 3 episodes, right? Like I wasn't as
No, you
patient as
didn't.
you
You
guys
binged the
were.
first two, and your husband abandoned you for the
Oh,
third
that's
one.
right. And yeah, that's right. But like so when I first watched it,
Yes.
the first 2 episodes really builds on the world and what the purpose of it is to catch this other variant Loki, right?
Yes.
Let me just go ahead and tell you that, like, as they're building the world of the TVA, they were
Mm-hmm.
also building a ship. A beautiful, beautiful ship, and that's Lokius. And honestly, dead ass, most of the first 2 episodes kinda just builds on the relationship and that, Loki has been working for the TVA for a while. We don't know how long because time is relevant in the TVA,
Mm-hmm.
but we know that they've been friends for a while, and it builds on that ship, right? Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so and also give the man a jet ski. Mobius is amazing.
Mobius
So
is not a dad.
he is a dad. Oh wait, we didn't even see the. Ooh, I gotta see my Twitter. But while we're doing that, um,
Do you think I could wake Chelsor up?
no,
So
too
that
late. It's already over. It's a wait. It's in a week.
no,
Yep. Let's
no,
see.
it's not
So,
over. It doesn't end until like after our podcast because we didn't release it until after our podcast.
well, it's still gonna be over.
Oh wow, we got more people voting. We got
Hell
49
yeah.
minutes left, ma'am.
Oh well, we've got time. I still believe that. Anyway, so Mobius is a fantastic character played by Owen Wilson, who I honestly love and adore. He's amazing. Um, and uh even as a side character like Mobius, Owen Wilson plays it very, very well. I'm just happy. Like, I love their relationship. So I didn't think I would get sucked in as quickly as I did. The first episode, sure, it focuses on the TVA, it focuses on Loki still being Loki, right? Like the typical Loki. Um, being mischievous and all of that. But guess who changes him? Mobius.
Mm-hmm.
And Sylvie. Because in episode 3 is when they meet Sylvie, right?
Yeah.
Right.
No,
Um,
no, no. She's revealed to be a woman at the end of two.
oh yeah, 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 you're right. And then episode 3 is he's trying to figure her out. In
Mm-hmm.
in in, in the apocalypse at the actual end of time.
No, it's not the
Which
end of time. It's just an apocalypse
I
along the
thought it was the
sacred
last
time.
apocalypse.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I
It's
thought it
it's a
was.
major. It's a world-ending apocalypse. It's what it is,
That's
but
it.
it's not the end of time. Nobody has
Mm,
seen the end of time or the beginning of time. That was what Loki in like episode 1 or episode 2 when he's doing research on his own. He is trying to access files and he's like, "Oh, can I see files for the beginning of time?" You don't have access to that. Well, can I see the files for the end of time? You don't have access
yeah, I don't
for
have
that.
access to that.
Then what
Okay,
do I
yeah.
have access for? And then he was given access to files about apocalypses, or like
Mhm.
Armageddon's, Ragnarok's, things like that. And that's where he's like, oh, there are no Nexus events in Apocalypse. And that's where he has
Exactly.
his big salad ruining speech
With Mobius, by the
monologue.
way, with Mobius
Yes.
always. So I loved again, I loved the building up to that point. I loved when he follows Sylvie because Sylvie is definitely, and he noticed it from the beginning. Sylvie is different from any other Loki variant. She is not necessarily driven by selfishness as other Lokis are, in a sense of like, yeah, she'll backstab you or whatever, like other Lokis, but she has a different drive than all the other Lokis, which is mostly I want to kill Thor, I want to rule over Asgard, I want to be the true king or god or whatever, power. She isn't necessarily power driven.
Yeah.
She just wants to for her it's more of like she just wants to I guess destroy the TVA because they destroyed her entire life for something she doesn't know. She doesn't know why. They just took her as a child and she's like, "All right." Whereas Kid Loki, like the actual kid male version,
Mm-hmm.
killed Thor, which
Yeah.
blew my mind by the way. Um so she's driven by something else. And I love that. And I can tell Loki loves it too. He's just curious. He's like, "Well, what are you driven by? Why are you different than me?" and stuff. I just love it, man. Great show. It does give more human, I guess more empathy to Loki as a character. Like he's starting to understand that not everyone wants to kill him, even though he dies a lot, a lot, a lot.
Yeah.
But not everyone wants to kill him. There are people he can trust, like
Hmm.
Mobius and um Sylvie.
Hmm.
And like he does actually care for people in his life, like his mother and Thor and his father, those kind of feelings. Like he's starting to become more or less, pretty much less selfish
Hmm.
and power hungry. He's starting to find more, I guess, another purpose, glorious purpose
Yes.
in other things than just power, which I respect Loki for. I love this show, man. His character growth to me is phenomenal in this show. And it really showcases that. Also the ships. Holy shit, there's too many. Anyway, but yeah, that's
Crokey
pretty
and
much
his pool.
yeah, Croaky. Give the guy a pool. Give the guy a lake. Give Croaky what he wants. Um, but yeah, that's up to the point that you were getting to. And then of course, we heavy spoilers. A lot of people get yeeted into the void, pruned.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think that's the word, right?
Yes, that's the TVA term when they remove a variant from timelines, is they prune
Yeah.
them and send them to the void to be destroyed by Eliath, this
Hmm.
very ominous cloud. And that the
That
only
looks
things
to
that
me like
really
a
survive are Loki's.
yeah, which is because that's a huge trait that they all share is they survive. And also Mobius because Mobius is a badass, just saying. Anyway, spoilers.
Yeah, that
That
we're.
one episode, that one episode 4. Holy shit. So episode 4 is a roller coaster of an episode. That's when things really started taking off, you know? I mean it took off for a while, but
Yeah,
damn.
no, like, I feel like with these little 6 episode miniseries that Marvel is doing, that Disney's doing, um, it's a really slow build and it doesn't really start getting exciting until like episode 4.
Yeah.
Because they kind of
Um
did that with um, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which you still haven't seen. And
I know I should, but there's nothing that grabs me about that show. That's why I'm dragging my feet. Like Loki, I liked Tom Hiddleston. WandaVision, I heard that it was like the first few episodes was a very strange, weird Twilight
concept.
Zone-esque kind of thing, and I love that shit. What do I have for Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
So you can talk to me about it.
Oh my god. I was like, I have to
Spicy! My
I have
husband.
ADD. Listen to me. I have ADD. If they don't have anything to grab my
It's
attention,
only 6 episodes.
doesn't
It's
matter. It has to
only
grab my
six
attention,
episodes.
and nothing about it
Pricey.
grabs my attention.
My husband
Straight
doesn't get
up.
into theories and ships and shit like this. I can't get
I
excited
know,
with
but
him
like
about it. I
there's not
need some.
there's no okay, out of the 3, you've seen all 3.
Yeah.
Out of the 3, is that the least favorite?
Uh, I don't know. Like I can't say at this point because we do have one more episode left in Loki.
Oh, yeah, but that's not gonna that
What
one
that
episode is
can.
definitely not gonna fuck it up. It's not gonna
It,
fuck it up.
it can.
No, it won't. To make it your favorite? Come on.
I like.
You just admit it. Falcon and the Winter Soldier doesn't compare to WandaVision and Loki.
Well, nothing really
It's not
compares to
bad. It's not
WandaVision
bad.
because like what they did with WandaVision is amazing. But
I know, I agree.
honestly, like Falcon and Loki are kind of tied at the moment. They both have really, really weak moments because of like poor directing and poor writing and just. I guess WandaVision may have set the bar too high for the other two,
Mhm.
honestly. So.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I am I see I am absolutely obsessed with Loki because of the ships and the okay, so this is the thing for me is the chemistry between characters, right? I believe in like a good writing, especially if you have very strong characters like anyone in the Marvel universe,
Hmm.
you have to have very strong chemistry between characters and side characters, right?
Yeah.
Loki does this very well. WandaVision does as well,
Hmm.
but Loki does it incredibly well for such a short amount of time, you
Well,
know?
here, I think I know one of the problems I have with Loki that like kind of brings it down. Um, and that what Falcon did really well, in my opinion, is that the Falcon the Winter Soldier gave you somebody to hate. Gave you like a really, really great villain to kind of
Mhm.
hate on. I haven't really seen that in Loki though.
Oh, yeah, Ravonna can go
N-
fuck herself.
Ravonna can go fuck herself, but we're only getting this really ugly side of Ravonna in like for a moment in episode
Mm-mm,
5.
mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm,
Uh-uh.
mm-mm, mm-mm. You wanna know why? This is how I know Ravonna is a piece of shit. So, in episode 4, Mobius discovers that the what was it? The soldier that they were looking for, C-20, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think?
C-20, Hunter C-20. Yeah.
Yeah, Hunter C-20.
Mhm.
Who he found was okay. She was just repeating like, "It's real, it's real, it's real." He found her and she was okay. And then he switched his, TemPad with Ravonna. Again, spoilers, but he switched his TemPad with Ravonna and found the recording of the, investigation behind C-20.
Debriefing.
The debriefing, thank you. Where Ravonna not Ravonna, C-20 admits that they're all variants, that, you know, Sylvie showed her her past life, and Ravonna did not want that to get out. It's like she knew. She knew it way before any of this. And instead of getting that truth out, or instead of allowing the truth to so everyone will try and work together like, "Oh my god, we are variants. What do we do from here on out?" She prunes her or like by, because they said she died, right?
Yeah.
And she might be in a holding container and we still haven't seen her yet, like we did B-15, right?
Right.
But my theory is she prunes her so that no one will know
Hmm.
about the truth. And Sylvie, she isn't, like I said, she isn't driven by selfish desires. She shows them their past lives. She wants them to understand the truth because she doesn't understand, like Sylvie doesn't understand why all these other variants are working for the TVA without memory of their past lives. Like what drives them, you know? They're just like, "Oh, I was created by the timekeepers just to keep this place running." And that's all. But they realize no, their life beyond that is worth more. They had friends and they went to bars and they had parties and all this stuff. Like,
I did. I
goodness,
have to
Mobius could
admit,
have had a jet ski.
like one of the most powerful scenes so far in Loki is with Sylvie trying to get information from C-20.
Mhm.
That was like a really, really
Mhm.
good scene. That
You
was
can
like really
tell.
disconcerting. Like that's almost like
Oh yeah.
WandaVision level disconcerting.
I agreed. It because when you first watch it, you're like, what's going on? Is this normal life or whatever?
Hmm.
And then you realize, oh no, this is her past life. And the way that, Sylvie's trying to extract information.
Hmm.
Oh my god, you're right, it was very powerful.
Hmm.
It threw me for a loop, you know? That's what I'm saying, like, God, it's great. Great show. Holy shit. I loved it. Love it. And I'm
Yeah,
very sad that the last episode is on Wednesday. Damn, I'm sad.
I know. I know. I will give it props. Like classic Loki's like Hail Mary was really good. It was so good. And like that entire scene, like my mother pointed out that um, when Eliath was attacking the illusion of classic Loki, that the
Oh, wait, wait,
music.
wait, wait.
What? What?
Before we get into again, we're jumping ahead. What before we get into that, can we talk about how there's other Lokis who we thought were important, and it turns out classic Loki was the most important of all?
Croaky is the most important of all. Excuse you, miss. You need to get your priorities straight.
Okay, but I have to
Okay,
we have to tell
okay.
them what our theory was,
Well, like, it
please,
was
because
an
everyone
interest.
and and it wasn't us. It wasn't just us. Everyone on Tumblr thought this particular Loki was like behind it all, or like pulling the strings. And for
Well,
the
it was
longest
kind
time,
of
I also believed it.
important.
Like,
What? That's like
and
it's
we thought he
most.
was important.
So my husband brought up to me, and I kind of brought it up to you
And
that
I thought it was genius, by the way. I
it
thought it was a good
was really
theory.
ingenious. Is that there's probably a Loki that's behind everything, behind the TVA, behind all that stuff, and the
Mm-hmm.
assumption that that Loki variant had some kind of time ability.
President
Because
Loki, essentially, is what it was called.
each Loki apparently has a different type of ability, like magical power.
Yeah.
Sylvie has enchantment, so she can do kind of
Mm-hmm.
mind control and persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Our Loki, like our Tom Hiddleston classic Loki that we have followed through the MCU and that we are following through the show,
Mm-hmm.
has conjuring. Classic Loki has illusions. And so my husband's like, oh, what if this Loki that's behind
President
everything,
Loki. Yeah.
had some kind of time ability? Well, I brought it up to Racy. I'm like, well, husband has a very valid point
Mm-hmm.
because we have, if you look on just around before Loki came out, like the first couple of episodes, there were these still images of this Loki, of a Tom
Mm-hmm.
Hiddleston Loki. Hi, Nasium. So we see this Loki around that doesn't quite look like Loki. I presented Ricey, I'm like, this doesn't look like our Loki that we've been following through the MCU through Loki
Mm-hmm.
because his horns are different.
And yeah, you were absolutely right.
Aha, costume designer.
Yeah.
Because our Loki has very large, elaborate, like very shiny horns. We see our like Sylvie that we've been following with very tiny horns, very uh matte coloring style horns with a broken horn. Well,
Mm-hmm.
this Loki has medium sized horns, but in kind of the style of Sylvie, but doesn't have a broken horn. So who is this Loki that we're getting advertisements for, but we haven't seen yet in the first three
Yes.
episodes? What's going on with that? Why is he such a big deal?
Yeah. So apparently his name is literally President Loki because he has the button on the side.
Vote.
And when he speaks, they're like President Loki. Because I'm the one who I'm the bitch who watches it with subtitles.
My husband does too, so yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, why is it President Loki? But I'm like, I ain't hating it. I ain't hating. He's got the button. He's the president. So imagine, if you will, for
hmm
those who haven't seen episode 5. Yeah, it was episode 5, right?
Yeah.
Imagine what you will, because we're not the only people, because he's on the promo poster, by the way,
hmm
who thinks this President Loki is the one of the most important Lokis in the show, because it's right there, right?
Yep.
There's a scene that I lost my god dang mind over.
Tumblr lost their fucking shit about it
It
too.
was the funniest
Like
thing. Okay,
after
so
the most important scene of that episode, they were losing their goddamn
yes,
mind over the scene
yes,
that you are referring to.
right. I I remember seeing it, and of course there's like a cut between them. Um, when he discovers our Loki, you know, and he's like, "Oh, which Loki are you?" or whatever, and we're like, "Oh shit, it's happening. It's gonna happen. Things are gonna go down." Well, technically, yeah, things went down. They found the hidey hole of Croaky, the real king, and young Loki, and I think it was it Confident? Loki
No,
and
it
classic
was
Loki?
uh alligator Loki because he technically is an alligator. Kid
Yeah.
Loki, classic Loki, and boastful Loki.
Boastful Loki. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they were hiding apparently, and these other Lokis, the other variant of Lokis, come in and try to take over the kingdom. And their kingdom, all they have is oh shit,
Knickknacks.
nauseum. Yeah, that's why we have spoilers. There's a lot. Um,
That like we have warning though.
yeah, it's bright red,
Bright red. I put it in the title. It's everywhere.
heavy. Okay. Oh, it's okay if you're confused. You just have to watch the show Nauseum.
We're
It's so good,
all
at least
over
for
the
me.
place, Nazi. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We got
Um,
opinions.
this is the most we're talking about the most recent episode,
Episode
so
five.
the second to last. Yes.
Five.
Um, so you see President Loki with his quote unquote army of other Lokis
Mm.
walking in all confidently, trying to take over. And of course, everyone betrays everyone. The army betrays Loki. Loki betrays boastful Loki because boastful Loki was the one who signaled them to their location. And I love that Loki, our Loki, is like embarrassed. He's like, "Oh God, is this how I was when I was young?"
Was this
It
how
was
I
so
was
funny.
before Mobius?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, Mobius changed him to be a good man. Anyway, so then the of course the true king Loki walks up
Croaky.
over to yes. Was it walks like waddles over to President Loki and bites his fucking hand off. And it's the most hilarious scene to me. And I remember I was live chatting with you, Abby, while I was watching
Yes.
this. And I'm like, his hand got ate.
It
And of course,
did.
and then I start dying laughing because the one person we thought would be the most important Loki turns out to be alligator food. I'm dying. I'm losing my mind. And all I can think of is his hand got ate. And of course, it triggers a fight scene between the Lokis and stuff. And I'm just here sitting here laughing because that, of course, was the perfect way to I guess poke a hole in all of the theories,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're like, "Oh yeah, we built this to be the most ultimate Loki." Ha! You've been trolled by Loki. get get ate. And I lost it. I was like, "That is the best troll." And of course, it would fit Loki's personality as a little gremlin troll. And I'm like, "Oh my god, I loved it." I really liked that scene. I did because it threw me for a loop, another loop. Good god, that scene was awesome.
Because I'm going
How
back
did
and looking at our chat.
mm, you saw it? His hand got
I
ate.
know.
I was just like,
Yeah, it's
great.
like most of it was you losing your shit over like
Oh
Mobius and
yeah.
Sylvie and shit like that.
So in episode 4, Mobius gets pruned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, it was a roller coaster of an episode. Episode 4 did things to me. I don't want to. Well, it is spoilers. I'll spoil it.
I mean, we
So
we have
Mobius
warning.
discovers. That's true. So Mobius discovers that he is indeed a variant. Loki was telling him the truth, and so he frees Loki from his time prison. You know, and wants to confront the time. I was going to say time lords, not time lords.
Timekeepers.
Timekeepers. Thank you. He wants to confront the timekeepers, and Ravonna, who was his friend, or he thought was his friend, prunes him, and
No,
the
well,
fake.
she's too much of a coward because she doesn't do it herself. She has someone
Oh yeah,
else
that's true.
do it.
Yeah, exactly.
She has him
She
pruned.
doesn't even do her own dirty work. She had literally asked for other people to prune others. Like she never does it. Um so when that happens, Loki's face of like he literally the face of just being a broken man was the face we all had when Mobius got pruned. Like that shock, my jaw dropped. I am like crying, huddled and not okay. I was just like I am not okay. Cuz I shipped them so hard and Mobius is pruned and at the time we thought pruning is at like death, is utter
Yes.
death until that ending
Yes,
scene,
post-credit scene
post credit scene. Yes,
where Loki wakes up. Our Loki, the Loki we have been following for the series. Our Loki
wakes
wakes
up
up.
alive. Yeah.
Or just
Um,
wakes
and
up. We
also
don't know. We didn't know if he was alive or where the fuck
or
he
dead.
was.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, the void, the end of time. Okay, whatever. That's explained in episode 5. But
Uh-huh.
holy shit, I was like shaking. I was so sad. And then when Mobius drives his little pizza truck,
I'm Speed.
oh no. So Mobius comes and he saves Sylvie
You mean
from
Lightning McQueen?
yes, Lightning McQueen
Lightning
coming to
McQueen
save the
zooms
day.
up.
Yes, Lightning McQueen zooms up and saves
Sylvie.
Sylvie from Aliath. Aliath.
There you
It's
go.
Goliath, but without the G.
Yeah.
So Aliath. And of course, when the moment he pops out and it's Mobius, I scream. I'm like screaming. I'm excited. I've texted you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Mobius is alive. Oh my god! Like I'm freaking the fuck out. And of course, I rewind the scene again because I have to see him again.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tell people it's like you rewound so many times. You're like, I gotta
Because
watch it again. Hang on, I gotta watch this
I
again.
have to.
One more time.
If if there's a scene that evokes such, and I'm not watching with other people, right? If it's
Yeah.
just me watching by myself and it invokes such an emotional response, I'm the bitch who goes back and watches it again. Just to be like, "Holy shit, did I just see what I saw?" And I did. And I'm just all happy again. Like, "Oh my god." And so that's what I did. And I fucking loved it, man. And so of course, they find Loki. And can I just say, Loki was more excited to see Sylvie, and then when Mobius pops up, he's like, "Oh, Mobius." And he's just like, "What? What? But didn't seem so surprised to see him. And I'm like, "Ooh, Mobius. Get your boy. Get your boy. He should be happy for
No,
you."
no, he was going to approach him. He was going to get closer
Mm,
to him and he restrained himself.
I
Also,
don't know
can
about
I just
that.
say, there was so much hetero baiting. Well,
Self-cessed.
there was so much baiting
Self-cessed.
in this episode. We get like baiting for Mobius and Loki. We get baiting for Sylvia and Loki.
Loki.
I
So-
I'm loving like the hetero baiting. It's cracking me up so much. Usually it would probably piss me off, but I'm just like, nah, fam. It's we've had enough queer baiting lately in a lot of media. We can put up with hetero
I
baiting
can
this
hetero
time.
baiting. Self-cessed. I'm okay with it. Okay, so I am a relentless shipper with this one show. And I've told Abby this. This is the one show that I've really like poured my entire shipping fuel into
Now you know
just to
how
see it
Chelsea
set sail.
feels about the
Oh my god,
Untamed.
yeah. And I'm like, usually I'm a level-headed, Scorpio. I'm a level-headed Scorpio, right?
Uh,
Level-headed. But this ship literally kills me, and it's the Mobius Loki ship, right? I love the way the writers wrote their chemistry. I loved it. Even if there turns out to be friends, but I know for a fact it's not true. The way that they write their relationship is amazing. I give so many mad props to the writers for it. Now with Silky or the Sylvie Loki ship,
mhm,
I mean I see it, but it wasn't until episode 5 that I really saw it. You know what I mean?
mhm.
And I see why people really like them.
Right.
Let's be honest. In this point, it is hair baiting. The real true canon ship is Mobius and Loki. That's it.
Because it's a
Lokius.
slow burn. We have no. Even
It's so
our
good.
Loki comments at the start of episode 5, it's like, how long has it been since New York? Since
Yeah.
he grabbed the
Because time is
Tesseract and
irrelevant.
fled New York, how long has it been? He doesn't even know. I feel like it's been a lot longer than what they're portraying because in an office setting without really any windows, without really any skyline or daylight or anything like that,
in an area where
It's
time is irrelevant. Legit.
that too, but it has this um casino mentality about it. You don't put clocks up so people
Mm.
can see the time. You don't let them really see the, like, you keep the casino floor away from windows so they can't really perceive the process of time. You'll have buffets that serve everything all day long so that they don't really know if it's breakfast or dinner. It keeps time hidden. And I think that's a right, like, intentionally written in um for that kind of mind control, brainwashing kind of sense to it.
Yeah, because I mean, they're all variants and they didn't even realize it. So yeah, that makes
Right.
sense.
Um and no one really talks about the passage of time at the
No.
TVA, or, well,
Mm-mm.
inside the TVA anyway.
You're
Um
right.
so I just mm,
It's
mm-mm.
and we still don't have any answers until, and I believe this, episode 6, the final episode where everything is explained.
Yes.
Like everything. Um but honestly, episode 5 was such a huge info dump
It
because
really
one,
was. It made it awkward at points. Like I was saying at
it
the
did.
start of the podcast. Like there were
It
some
did.
things
It
that
did.
were really, really awkward.
Fine. Yeah, fair. That's I agree. I
But they
think that's
also did some
fair.
really, really good stuff. Really, really
They
good
did.
stuff.
I mean, his hand got ate. How can you that's just fucking killed
Really good
me.
stuff.
Um
Really, really good
uh
stuff.
oh
I mean,
look, it's me. um so yeah, like I thought episode 5 was, again, incredibly intense
mm,
because you have the I don't want to spoil it, but the scene with classic Loki and his
oof.
glorious purpose,
Oof.
which holy shit, and I didn't think I would fall in love with classic Loki as much as I did. But one, he and Mobius had a connection. Every all the Lokis love Mobius. Okay, straight up, every single Loki loves Mobius
All good Lokis love Mobius.
because Mobius is amazing. I love him so much. I love his character so much. Just give the
Mobius
man a jet ski.
is not a daddy.
Yes, he is,
Oh.
according to Twitter. According to Twitter,
Ah.
Mobius is a daddy, and you know what? You have to say that Mobius is a daddy because the public says so.
Ah. Nope.
Yeah, you
And I'll
do.
let you have
That's
your
I want
Lokius. I'll let you have your
no.
Lokius. He ain't a daddy. Nope.
Yes, he is.
Nope.
So, yeah, I mean, I won. So if I won, I'm gonna propose something
Okay.
on both the What's Your Opinion podcast Twitter and your Twitter. You have to say votes are in. Mobius is a daddy, and you got to tag Mobius, and you got to tag Loki, like hashtag Mobius, hashtag Loki, all that shit. You have to do that,
Agreed,
unless
Nasium.
unless
No.
unless you do want to vote, like unless someone wants to vote and change it up, but I don't think that's going to happen
Actually, I'm surprised how many
in the
votes we
next
got.
17 minutes.
We got 12 votes, so I'm surprised.
Yeah, no, same. And look, 75% say that he is a daddy. You may not think so, but he is. I know you don't think so, but he is. So suck it up. I'm
No.
gonna post it on there
No.
and say he is a dad. Yeah.
I will. No.
Come.
I'm gonna fight you.
Yes, you have
I'm gonna be
to. That
stubborn
was the
about.
whole purpose. No, that was the
No.
whole purpose of our bet.
Well,
That
you
was the
didn't
purpose
come
of
up
our
with a bet until right now.
Yeah, well, you know what?
You know
I'm a
what?
Loki fan. I will follow the Loki trope of ultimate betrayal, and it's a bet. We have to do this.
My wife
Come
has
on, it'll be
betrayed
fun.
me. My wife has betrayed.
Betrayal. I
My sudden,
betrayed.
your sudden but
Betrayal.
inevitable betrayal.
Betrayal. I learned from Loki.
Ah! God damn it. She's already a gremlin.
I am already a gremlin. Come on, that'd be a great bet. Unless someone pulls through at the final moments, which also is a very Loki thing to do.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm okay with that if someone decides to pull up.
I would like, well, this is kind of why we chose to continue to talk about Loki this week, is because I personally do not think that they are going to really make Loki and Mobius canon. I think they're gonna
No,
really leave it open ended.
which is fine. So
Right.
my thing is this. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Thanks, Nancia. Uh, I do believe that with these lines, this is all we're going to get, okay? With the
Mm-hmm.
lines that happen in episode 5, where Sylvie looks to Loki and he says, Mobius really cares about you.
Mm-hmm.
And Loki gets all flustered and he's like, it's kind of cold, trying to change the subject, right?
Like
Because
really trying to change the subject because he's a frost giant.
yeah, exactly. Because he's a fraud. He shouldn't get cold. But anyway, he does. And I I am so excited that that line happens, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm also super stoked that in episode 5, Loki and Sylvie have their special moment, which is what was the turning point for me because it was a very tender moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I love in the end where Mobius goes back to the TVA and says he's gonna burn it to the ground, which hell yeah, like oh my that's you do it, Mobius. You
I was about
burn
to
it to the
say, you're
ground. You
talking to a
get your jet ski.
pyrotechnic or pyromaniac, and I'm just like, yes, burn it. Burn it all.
Yes, like burn it to the ground. And I really want to see Ravona's face when he comes back
Ooh.
and he's like, "Oh, you thought you seen the last of me."
Surprise, motherfucker!
Motherfucker, but surprise, motherfucker. Yes, I am that bitch. I'm like Mobius, you get him. But
But I really, it's too mainstream. I really don't think, I think they're gonna leave it open ended. I really
yes,
don't.
but the longest hug in MCU history, come on. The longest man to man hug that they did, right?
Male.
Yeah. Male hug that they did in MCU history and then Mobius tells him, "You're my favorite." And I'm
Well,
like,
technically, he said
"Oh!"
that to Sylvie. He
No,
was
no.
looking at Sylvie.
No, I think so there's a theory behind that, right? I'm sorry,
Is that
we're
he,
talking gay ships. Is that he tells Sylvie, but like he looks at Sylvie, but he tells Loki
because Loki
just
can't
so that
see that he's looking at Sylvie.
exactly. And he's looking at Sylvie to be like, this is me trying to confess. And I think they had a discussion in the car when
Oh,
they were
yeah.
like,
So,
oh,
question. Do you
ooh.
think
Do I
that
think?
Sylvie unlocked his memories?
No.
You don't think
I don't
so?
think he no, I don't think he unlocked his memory and this is why.
Mm.
Because in doing so while they're running away, that isn't what Sylvie's main again purpose is to see what's going on behind the TVA, right? She needs it. If now not to say that she won't eventually do it, I think she will. But while he's driving and they're running away from Eliath, I don't think she had a
They could have
chance to
gotten
show him his
away.
memories.
Clearly, Eliath is like has gone around
Yes.
them because wait. Hear me out. So at one point, when Kid Loki, Classic Loki, Croaky, and our Loki, our variant
Mhm.
that we have been following, tracks down Eliath, they see a battleship dropped onto land, and Eliath
Yep.
attacks. They
And very
turn
quickly.
around to find. I almost said Lightning McQueen's. Turn around to find.
Lightning straight Lightning McQueen, okay.
Turn around to find Mobius and Sylvie driving up to them. So at
Mhm.
some point, Eliath left that car alone, the pizza delivery car alone. So they would have
Oh,
had
I
a
see what you're
moment
saying.
to stop and for Sylvie to do that. But that's
Now,
just,
I'm gonna just say that also he's probably just wanting to see his boyfriend.
I mean, that's fair.
Mobius is like, nah, we'll look at memories later. I gotta find my boyfriend.
Uh,
But I can see what you're saying.
yeah.
But I do think that, and this is why. This is why I think that this is going to be different. I feel like Sylvie is going to show Mobius's memories, but we as an audience get to see it.
Okay.
I think
That's fair.
that's one final gift that she will give him is his memories. And then we will finally know if he gets a jet ski or how to jet ski.
I bet he
I
does
think
have a
that's
gut tea.
something. I bet so too. I think that, and this is going to be the sad thing. I think he's going to put himself, and this is a theory, for the final episode. I think he's going to put himself back in the timeline to actually live his life again. I think that
I don't know
Mobius
about
will.
that.
I think so because all his life he thought, he was just a very not a variant, a you know, a worker for the timekeepers. He realizes no, there is more to him than that. And of course it involves Loki.
I
But
mean,
I
he
do
could be
believe
the
that he
new
will.
leader of the TVA.
I mean he could. I mean that's also a very good possibility.
Hmm.
But I think they're going to break our hearts and separate Loki and Mobius and I'm not ready for that because I think that's what's going to
I
happen.
don't think Disney, I don't think, I really, I'll say Disney is spineless in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
I
Just let them
think
make out. That's all I
you're being
want.
greedy. Calm down.
I am very greedy.
So I feel like that Disney's gonna play it on the safe side because Loki, the show Loki, is far too mainstream for them to
Yeah.
be pulling any kind of LGBTQ plus kind of anything. The fact
Yeah,
that
that's
we got,
fair.
like, we didn't even get like a full on confession from Loki. It's like, I am pansexual. We had Sylvie ask him, it's like, were there princesses? Or maybe a
You
prince? A
you
little bit
know
of both.
why?
That's a coward response. I'm not taking
No,
a
no, no, no,
coward
no.
response from Loki, but that,
Okay, I don't see it as a coward response. I see it as nonchalance. Like, yeah, and it shouldn't surprise you. Like because this is how I see it because he's like, "Yeah, it shouldn't surprise you because I'm assuming you're the same." And she's like, "Yeah." So, I don't think it was, oh, the what was it?
I
Put on the fanfare. I am gay. No, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that. I do love
hang on.
how
I'm gonna need a full version of that real quick.
I can't. That came out the top of my head. I can't do a full, but I'm glad you appreciate it.
Cause it's like
Uh,
I need to clip that and send that to Monty.
okay, fair. That's fair. It's weird he got a whole marching band to sing that. Yeah.
I mean,
But
it's
so
Loki.
I
He's a
do.
drama bitch. He would do that.
Yeah. But I was like this. I would also say that it was very nonchalant because I don't want to. This again. I'm straight as hell. But to put it into a show, I think it's like this is normal. Y'all need to see it as normal. The way
Yeah,
they should speak about it should be normal, like normalized. So when, of course, that's and also it was a very smooth line delivery. Can I just say that, right?
yeah.
Very smooth. Wow. Hella smooth. So that's why I'm like, I don't think they were pretty much cowards, but I do like how it was very nonchalant. Like, yeah, and so are you. You shouldn't have known this. Like, it's not a surprise. You
Well,
know,
they're still new to
and I
meeting
like that.
other Lokis, so it's
Yes.
better to confirm than to assume.
Yeah. And that was one way to do it. And I
Right.
thought, honestly, I thought that was a good way. I mean, could they do the Loki fanfare? Maybe. But honestly, the way they did it, I thought was perfect. And the gays were all there and were like, yes, yes, yeah. The LGBTQA
I
community, like
screamed. It's like, hell yeah, I was
everybody. I
loud.
saw the fan art the moment that it came out. There was fan art, like, yeah, 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 yeah.
I
All
probably
the fan
bothered
art.
my neighbors. I
Yeah.
yelled so loud about it. But the
I was like,
reason I say this is because it's so mainstream. We still have like a lot
mhm,
of boomers and Gen X and like all these people just like throughout like all the generations. I'm not saying it's
mhm.
exclusive to boomers, but boomers are still one of the largest generations there is currently. I know uh millennials like outsize them, but still like boomers are the most vocal. And
Right.
the reason me and Ricey chose this conversation is because I had to go and vent to Ricey about a conversation I had with my mother over the week
Mhm.
about I'm gonna put it
Lokiist.
very nicely because I don't want to put her on blast. I don't want people like
To hate on
attacking
her.
her or anything like that,
Yeah.
but she is extremely close minded about inclusiveness.
Mhm.
And she kind of twisted something I said that I'm like, they're not gonna have a gay relationship in this because it's too mainstream. That they like Disney's a coward and is not going to put it on a big main live action item like this because they're scared of backlash from viewers. I wouldn't say fans because fans are just like, oh, Loki gay? I Loki in a
Yeah.
relationship? I Loki poly? I It's Loki. Fans aren't
Right.
surprised by this. Um, but she is a boomer, and I know that she's not the only boomer with this mindset.
Mhm. I
And like I
and
know
yeah,
that Disney is
and
actually working with the younger generation in animated stuff like Owl House
oh, that's
to
true. And
normalize it at a younger age where they're not going to see it as basically a threat to tradition, what they perceive as
mhm. I mean,
tradition.
you see it in Owl House. You see it in what was it?
Legend of Korra.
Steven Universe.
Oh
Steven
yeah,
Universe. The Legend of Korra also canonized it. Um,
a
there was one show.
little bit with Voltron, but if you
Oh,
want
and I
some
believe
opinions
My
about
Little
that, go ask
Pony.
Chelzor.
Yeah, but I believe My Little Pony's very last episode also shipped Rainbow Dash and Applejack.
That was
I believe that was something.
They may have made it canon, but that was kind of
Yeah,
something that the fans had been doing for the entire
for a
time.
while. Oh yeah, but I do think that they made it canon. So like it is there. And it's not like let me make out with this person wah, 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 for the kids. It was more, to be honest, like what a real relationship with kids would be like. Oh,
Right.
I like this person. Oh, for Owl House. Oh, I like this person. I admire this girl. I like, but she's a girl. But no, it's
I
Luz don't
like
care.
spending time with her. She makes me
Yeah,
happy. It's things
happy.
like that.
And I blushed when she picks me up after I like hurt my ankle saving a game. Oh my god, that was so cute. I was just like, oh, this is adorable. And I'm just like, oh.
That's valid, Nauseum, but they,
Oh, yeah, I remember that too. It
I
was
lost my
awesome.
mind because at one point it I noticed that Garnet had two gems, and I'm like, what's going on with
Yeah,
that? And I think maybe like two, maybe three episodes later, we get that reveal, and it
the
like,
reveal.
well, we get
So it was
her.
hinted. Yeah, I was like, it was hinted, but, it was well done.
It was
Well
very,
done.
that was like a great build up, a great
Mhm.
reveal, like just like a great chemistry. Like Garnet was great. I love Garnet so much.
Exactly, yeah, same. She's awesome. Love her. Um,
But they're
but
normal.
yeah,
Disney and other like companies are normalizing this kind of stuff with the younger generation because
yeah.
they can't really openly do it in older generations. For
Mm-mm.
the older
And
generations.
and I was about to say these Disney creators are like Gen Z, no, Gen X,
Hmm.
millennials who are creating these stories,
Right.
So they're allowing them like because in their generation, let's just say a lot of millennials, because there are a few millennials who still have that kind of
Hmm.
conservative view,
Hmm.
as well as Gen X especially,
Hmm.
they're like our generation was never that accepting. Well, thankfully millennials are much more than Gen X, but it allows creators and even some boomers who are still
Right.
working in those kind of big companies are like, our generation was never this accepting. We're going to make sure that the next generation, the following generation, will be a little bit more accepting, and this could be a little bit more normalized because these people exist, and we're going
Yeah.
to write stories about them.
Hmm.
That's what I love. And that's why I also love kids shows, because honestly, kids shows are just they're more ballsy than any of the other adult shows I've seen.
Right.
Mm, sorry, I went on a rant.
And that's like I feel like that's why they're able to get away with it is because it's most of what I just listed, and I'm not saying that it's
Mhm.
exclusive to animation, but most of what I just listed are animations. A
Mhm.
lot of people, and well, I will admit, Owl House, Steven Universe, both of those are targeted for a younger crowd.
Yeah,
Not the age of me and Ricey, but for younger crowds, for the younger demographics.
that's right.
But we're dorks. It's animated. I like the story. I like the art. I'll watch it. Why not? Like we have
That kind
no
of person. I
qualms
love it.
watching anything animated, but I know a lot of people just in general, boomers, X, millennials, like a lot of people that have this mindset that animated things are for children.
Yeah.
And that because of that mentality, these companies are able to hide these and normalize it in these shows.
Mhm.
So,
Honestly, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
And I'm that kind of dork who would watch those kids shows just to get like, oh, so okay, I can appreciate animation. We've already had a
Yes.
podcast on it, and mm, 10 out of 10. I love animation, and I'm glad that the stories, like the people are being brave enough to watch those stories. Now, is
Yes.
Disney brave enough to make Mobius and Loki kiss? God, I hope so because
No,
oh, they're so
because
cute.
we
But I know
have.
a hug is enough. Saying that you're my favorite is enough. Being able to
But you're
facilitate
greedy.
some
You
test.
want more.
I am a greedy bitch. I will stand here and I will say, yes, I am indeed a greedy motherfucker. I want
But
more.
I would like
I'm
to
never
point out,
satisfied.
because I mentioned this to my husband like yesterday. So it's like we last saw each other pretty briefly um Friday because we worked together. I mentioned this to my husband that this allows us to set this up and that we may end up getting a young version because it's Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston. I don't think we're going to get that kiss, but it might set up for something in the future with a new actor for our Mobius and a new actor for our Loki that can kiss.
Yeah, that would
But
be okay. I just like their unless the writing is awful, and in which case I'm gonna be mad. But
fair.
because it's the chemistry and the writing
Mm-hmm.
is just ooh so good. Anyway, I would also like to take this time to announce the winner of our poll at
Mm,
the What's Your Opinion podcast.
uh,
For those of y'all who have not added to the poll, it's too late. Ha ha ha. So
mm.
last week we made a poll um
On Twitter.
on Twitter that said settle this debate with Ab Mickey Ree and myself, of course. Because I said, is Mobius from the show Loki a daddy with his love of jet skis, his dad bod, and
You,
his mustache?
you,
The options were
you,
ahem, the options were oh hell yes or oh hell no.
you
Abby
cheated. You were
says,
leading the
I did not
witness.
cheat it.
You
I
were
did
leading
not
the
cheat.
witnesses. They were leading
No, no, no,
questions.
no,
It
no,
was a
no, no,
leading
no.
question.
There's 12 different votes. I do not know that many people on Twitter.
Lies.
Dead ass, I don't know that many people on Twitter. I think there's actual fans from the tags that we tagged that
Yes.
genuinely believe Mobius is a daddy. Don't come at me. This is
Mobius
what
is
the
not.
public has said.
Mobius
And
is not a
who
daddy.
wins? By 75%. That is me. I win. He is indeed a daddy with his love of jet skis and his dad bod and his little
He
mustache.
is not a daddy.
Yes, he is.
He does
So
not have a dad bod.
because I won, it
He
doesn't
is
matter.
not a
Because I
dad
won.
bod. He does not have a dad bod.
Yes, he does have
No,
a
he
dad
does
bod.
not
Are
have a
you
dad
kidding?
bod.
Oh my god.
It's very, barely
No,
fit.
no. So
Yes. Did you
no.
know Owen Wilson was
I will no.
53 years
I'm
old? Wait,
sorry.
wait, wait,
You
wait,
have
wait.
no say in this.
Wait,
You have no say in this
wait,
because
wait.
the public has spoken.
I'm gonna
Public has
bonk
spoken.
you. I'm gonna bonk you. I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna bonk you. Did you know Owen Wilson was 53 years old?
Yeah. He a daddy.
He ain't a daddy.
Yeah, he is.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad is around that age, so he a daddy. Think
My
about it.
dad is not. My dad is much older.
Yeah, well, he a daddy. My dad is a daddy. So he's a daddy.
No,
I
your
shouldn't say
daddy's a
that about my
poppy.
own dad. Yeah, my dad's a papi. I shouldn't really say that about my dad. But anyway.
I mean,
The public has spoken, and as much as you try to deny it,
mm,
the majority of our small sample size says he is indeed a daddy. So what I would like for, since I won and I'm taking this into account, and this is now a bet, you
oh,
have to post. You don't even have to say you agree with it, but you have to post on the What's Your Opinion podcast Twitter as well as your own,
can
by
I
the
just
court
do a
of public
retweet?
opinion, by the court, no, by the court of public opinion, Mobius is indeed a daddy.
But at least, can I at least
No,
copy
no,
and
no, no, no,
paste?
no,
Wait,
no,
wait,
no,
wait.
no,
Can I
no,
copy and
no, no,
paste
no.
though?
Yes, if you want, but you also, oh, you can quote tweet and be like,
Okay.
by popular opinion, Mobius is a daddy, and I hereby concede that he is a daddy.
I'm gonna call you a bitch in this too.
You can call me a bitch. I don't care. It's the truth, though. Public has spoken. This is what you get for having a gremlin friend.
I know.
It's so delicious.
And it's like, I get this because
Delicious.
Chelsea isn't here to take this.
That's true. She ain't here. You know,
Cause
the
it's like
majority of
I'm
our
the gremlin.
friends.
We're each the gremlin towards Chelsea when she's around, but like when it's just
Hmm.
me and you, I was like I'm the victim.
Yeah, and I'm the hella gremlin, and I know who I am. I know who I am as a person. I will never deny that. But yes. So that's our vote. Damn, I can't believe we did it. I can't believe I got it. I gotta retweet myself. I'll retweet yours once you've
All
retweeted it.
right.
Woo! But yeah, public has spoken. Isn't that weird? We need to do
Mm,
another one of those eventually if there's like another heated debate we have about that. This needs to be a regular thing. I'm just competitive. And so are you. You're equally competitive.
I am.
uh, huh?
I am. I'm not gonna deny it.
Yeah, I
Like
think I
that's
think
why
that's
I
why.
work out is so I can beat you in weights.
I mean, you're already getting there. I have yet to work out my little armies. My armies are
Your noodle
terrible.
arms.
My armies are terrible. But my thighs, ooh, I got strong legs. Um, but also it's healthy competition. We're not toxic competitors. I think that's why we're like gremlins to each other.
Like this is why we bitch and moan about it
Oh yeah, I
constantly.
love it. I fucking love it. I love it.
People
But yeah.
actually, let's talk about our bitching and complaining and bickering. It's like people like get scared when we bicker.
Oh yeah.
Like our boss freaks out when we start bickering because we'll get loud and we'll get like really expressive. Like we'll start hitting our desks and everything, but it's like it's
We
we
don't ever mean
promise
any
it's
of
in
it.
good fun.
It is very much in good fun because most of the shit we bicker about is literally ships.
And
That's
dumb
it.
shit. It's always dumb
And dumb
shit.
shit.
Not
It's
just
so
ships.
funny. It's
Shit.
never anything serious. We never talk about anything serious. And oh god, and they're like, "Oh my god, they're going to start throwing things." And we're like, "Yeah." We are that
If I
expressive.
had plushies and our office
Oh
wasn't,
yeah.
or like our warehouse wasn't fucking disgusting, like I would be throwing plushies at you.
Oh yeah. For sure. We're just that kind of those kind of people. But yeah, is that everything for today? Is there any other things you want to talk
Uh,
about for today?
I'm doing the tweet now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you do the tweet. You do
Hey,
that
do
tweet.
the plugs. Who are we?
Oh, yeah, before I forget,
Who the fuck are you?
thank you so much for joining us on I'm trying to do our outro. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful podcast of Loki, and the theories and what we've thought about up until this point. Um, to say what's next in the next episode, I've kind of already assumed that Mobius is probably go back to his timeline. Maybe the TVA will disband because Mobius is going to burn it to the ground. Um, but we won't really know. And unfortunately, we will be gone next week. So we will not have a
Yeah.
podcast next week because both me and Abby, are going to the beach,
Beach.
to Florida. So we're very excited to just have a vacation. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So we will not be doing that together. Also, the movie for which we've talked about before in a previous podcast, the Tales of Arcadia film, the movie that wraps up the entire series, the entire, I guess, the span of the series of Tales of Arcadia. So that's Troll Hunters, Three Below, and Wizards.
Hmm.
That movie's coming out not next week. No, not next week, but the week after. Is that correct? Yes.
No, it's
So
coming. Oh yeah, it is next week because it's coming out before like
it's the
our next
21st.
podcast.
Yeah. So it's the 21st. So the following podcast, we will try and talk about the ending of Loki, but also the ending of Tales of Arcadia as a whole. So watch out for that. It's going to be a lot, um, because those are both shows and I guess now movie that I really do enjoy, and it's sad that they're both ending. And I don't know what I'm going to watch after this. It's going to just leave a giant hole
I
in my
mean, you
heart.
could
But
watch half the shit that me and Chelsea tell you to watch.
that's true. I've been watching
She
more
hasn't
basic,
even
like
seen
with
Castlevania.
oh yeah, I haven't seen Castlevania. I'm a sham. I'm a fraud. But so our next podcast will not be the 17th, but the 24th instead. And we
Eat.
will try and wrap up everything that we've missed in those weeks with Loki and Tales of Arcadia. So watch like be mindful of those things. Is that everything? Are
Nauseum.
those all the end?
There's
I haven't seen
3
Troll Hunters for
seasons
season
for Troll
one.
Hunter, 2
Oh,
for Three Below, and
nauseum.
a
You are
season for
way
Wizards. Bruh,
way
you gotta get on
overtime.
that
Listen,
fast.
listen, you have 2 weeks before we talk about it, so have at you, like, go watch it. Is it great? Yes, it's
Yes,
fantastic.
it's really good.
Is it Three Below is okay. Wizards,
Yeah.
also okay. The strongest of those 3 is Troll Hunter, so if even if you don't wanna watch the others, please, 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 please watch Troll Hunters. That one's really, really good, and then
Well,
maybe you'll segue into the others
he
if you want
kinda
to.
needs the other. Well, he
You
at
do, you
least
do.
needs Wizards. He at the very
Oh, yeah,
least
you
needs
do need
Wizards.
Wizards. Yeah.
Like
So check those out in the next 2 weeks. Binge them. They're really good, and we're
they're
gonna talk about
super
that on
good.
the 24th, before the movie releases on the 21st. So check those out. Um, oh, right. I'm a bowl of ricey.
Mm.
You can find me at a bowl of ricey on Twitch and on Twitter.
Mm.
And if you want to check out cosplays I've done, I have a cosplay Instagram, which is Besos Cosplay, BESOS Cosplay. Check that out as well. And who are you, my dear co-host?
Yeah, I'm at Mickey Ree. You've seen me been chatting around in the comments. It's spelled the same way here as it is on Twitter at Mickey Ree. Um, and where can they find both of us, Ricey? Even though I kind of gave that at the start, but they can still find us at where?
You can at what's your opinion 10
Mm.
on Twitter,
Yeah.
or what's your opinion podcast if you're here and want to listen. We're over here.
Yeah.
But what's your opinion 10 on Twitter, which now that I'm addicted to polling, we'll definitely put some more polls and such. Um, so check us out there as well, and that's where we normally post any changes or anything like that. Like I was a little late today, and that was on me. Sorry about that.
No, that was
Check us
on your
out there.
husband. That was on
Oh
your
yeah, I was on
husband.
my husband because freaking gave me a heart attack. But yeah, check us out there. Do you want to go ahead and tell everybody? Sign off.
Yeah, we're gonna go bye bye.
We're gonna go bye bye. Is that how you're gonna? Okay, we're gonna go bye bye.
Bye bye.
We'll see you guys on the 24th. Y'all have a good 2 weeks without us. Yeah.
Yee.
Have a good one,
Bye.
guys. Bye.